It's tea time. This is where we spill the tea.
People who want to have normalcy and raise their healthy family live in places like Long Island.
Hashtag Long Island Life.
The hot teas, the hotties.
I've had the opportunity to see some incredible beauty, some incredible sunsets, some incredible cultures. But at the end of the day, where do I want to be? Fire Island and Bayshore.
Happened here on Long Island.
It happened here on Long Island
So
because,
cool.
you know why? Summers are awesome here.
You're in there with the sharks. As long as you don't stick your arm out the cage, because you only can do that once.
First of all, I feel left out because there's a bottle of wine in between
Yes,
the two
We
of
should have
us.
told you.
I don't know what that is. What is brioche?
And you're the cut.
Long Island Tea. Welcome back to Long Island Tea. I'm Kristen.
I'm Sharon.
And how you doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
Oh my God. I'm doing great. It was one of those weeks. In fact, I had to wear my I Belong on Long Island shirt today because that's exactly how I'm feeling. It was such a cool week that I have them every now and then. I mean, we love what we do
Right.
all the time. But this week in particular, I had to pinch myself several times and be like, this is
It's my life.
my job.
I love it.
This is my destination.
Yeah.
This is where I live, and it was just so cool. It started with on Monday. I think Monday. God, I don't even know what day it is.
I know.
I don't remember. I don't know where am I? But we were invited to attend the governor's announcement that we are at 70%.
I know. Amazing.
I know, as far as vaccinations, and so reopening,
Yeah.
like lifting all
We're
of the
back.
restrictions.
Yep.
And he did it in New York City on the 64th floor of the World Trade Center.
Amazing.
And I was like, I had the busiest schedule that day, but when I got the invitation, I'm like, clear my schedule.
Yeah.
Please.
Stop the presses.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Because, and it's funny because and it was a very limited crowd. I want to say there was like 60 people there.
Right.
And to be, in the third row, basically.
Yeah, I saw you.
Do you see me?
Yeah,
You can see
I saw
my.
you in your red dress.
I gotta wear red. You gotta
gotta.
stand out,
You
right?
sure
You gotta
do.
make sure you wear something that is eye catching.
Yeah.
That's always the goal. But it was amazing, and I was sitting next to somebody, another really cool, great partner in our business community. And he was like, oh my God, I had to, think about coming here because it had to sound busy. And when you go to the city, it takes your whole day. I was like,
well, One World Trade, I mean, that's like a hike.
it is, right.
So.
But that's so funny because.
But I have to say, I'm so proud of you. You drove
oh my
in.
God, I drove.
I'm so proud
Everyone
of you.
said that. They're like, you drove to
I
the
know,
city?
You go, girl.
And parking in the city is
A beast.
something else.
Yeah, it sure is.
Something else.
Yep.
But I did it.
I know. So
And it was awesome. I mean, on the way there, I was on a call, and it was just it was such a beautiful New York City day.
Yeah.
And that's what I said to the guy next to me. I'm like, maybe it's just me being a transplant, but I'm like, we're so lucky to be able to be like,
Yeah.
I got to go to the city. It's the greatest city in the world.
Exactly.
It's
really
on
midday.
people's bucket list to just visit once, and like they dream about it and have posters of it up on their wall, and we're like, I gotta go to the city, and and then you get to go. I said to him, I'm like, I cleared my whole schedule because this is a monumental historic event.
Exactly.
We just went through something just incredible in our lifetime.
Yeah.
And we all pivoted, and we all suffered, and we all got through it together, and it's been so challenging, and we did it.
Yeah.
But it was great. And the view, I'd never been at the World Trade Center inside.
Right.
I've seen the memorial, which is just every time I go by that memorial, I'm just in awe. You just stare at it.
I've never been. I don't know.
It's too hard,
It's too
right?
hard.
It's
As
too
a New
close.
Yorker,
Yeah.
Like
It's too, but honestly, that they did such an incredible job with that memorial.
Yeah.
And then I'd never been to the World Trade Center either before or after
Right.
in the building. So for me, I was like, they welcome me. I immediately go to the windows. I'm taking pictures.
you're like a true tourist.
I was like, it was so cool. It was just, I'm like, it's something I'm going to tell my grandchildren about
Yeah,
someday. I was
absolutely.
there, through all this. And then the day it lifted, and I was there. And again, at the World Trade Center, just the symbol. There's no greater symbol of perseverance and making it through and rising again.
Yeah.
Especially for New York, we were the epicenter. We've been through so much, and it's the 20th year of 9/11.
I know, it's crazy.
So I just felt all the feels.
Yeah,
being a New
you were
Yorker,
super emotional,
I was so
absolutely.
proud. And then yesterday, and I'm just taking up our entire How You Doing segment,
good.
Sharon,
No,
because
that's
it was
good.
crazy. Yesterday, Bree and Chris and I went to Fire Island, Ocean Beach.
I'm so jealous. I wasn't there.
Oh my God. And again, and it's hard, right? It's hard, like our friend was saying. You carve out the whole day.
Yeah. No, totally.
It takes your entire day to film a Long Island TV segment, and it's like hard to pull yourself away. But it was so fun.
Oh, good. I'm so glad you loved it.
It's just the coolest place.
It is. It really is. It's unbelievable how many people don't really know about it either.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's kind of like Long Island's little secret.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you have not been to Fire Island, you can't go this year. Just so you know, it's booked. I've tried. I've been trying to book a room for a couple months. You should stop what you're doing right now. I mean, don't stop listening to this podcast, but like make a note.
Yeah, go for the day.
No, or you go for the day, yes. Or book a trip for next year.
Yeah.
Just get online right
totally.
now. And Fire Island is made up of 17 different communities, right? And we were on Ocean Beach, which is kind of known to be like family friendly.
Right, right.
And there were kids walking around, teenagers.
Yeah.
Because you can just, there's no cars.
Right. You can just be.
You take the ferry, and then the kids are just like Laura, our board member who's there and owns the Palms Hotel, which is so amazing. She's like, they can just be autonomous.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like on the beach in a chair because we're filming and the drone's flying over, and I'm waiting for the drone to get the footage, and I'm just like, the waves are crashing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's sunny. And I'm like, this is what I do for a living.
It's not a bad day on the job.
I'm like, and this is my destination.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people that promote tourism.
Right.
But they don't get this
They don't
destination.
get this gold.
You know, I'm like, they don't get to promote Fire Island.
Right.
Where you take the ferry over. And then we made a new friend, Alex, at McGuire's. I know you're like, she was my new best friend.
I was watching like Bree's stories all day. Like she was giving sneak peeks and stuff. And I knew it instantly just by like the 10-second clip. I'm like, oh, they're immediate best friends.
I loved her. She's like, she's got her doctorate.
Wow.
So she's a teacher, and then she does Fire Island, like manages McGuire's on the side or in the summer. And she was just immediately fun and gorgeous.
So cool.
I was totally trying to set her up with Chris.
Ah.
I was trying because I'm like, Chris is single.
Hey.
I know. She was so cute.
That is adorable.
Bree was. We just literally made friends with everyone on Fire Island.
That's Fire Island, though.
It is. You go
know?
there and like the whole bar
Instant.
knew us.
Yes.
Everybody saw us on the ferry filming.
I know,
then
that was
everybody's like, "Hey
hysterical.
guys," wherever we went. And like the store owners, the lady at what was it called, Honolulu. I walk in and she's like, "I have this special perfume for
my
you, a
gosh.
special gift." I'm like, "What?"
That's so cute. I was watching, again, Bree's stories on the Discover Long Island Instagram, and she did a little sneak peek of you guys filming on the ferry, and it was hysterical because you looked like a tour guide. You looked like Julie McCoy. What is it? Julie McCoy?
Julie McCoy on the Love
It
Boat.
was hysterical. But like literally, how many people were on the ferry
It's
on
packed.
the top, you
It
know,
was-
and
the
they all
ferry was
stopped and they're
packed.
watching you. Like it
It
was
was
hysterical.
so funny. Yeah, we started filming and everybody went. We didn't ask.
Right.
We weren't going to ruin anyone's trip, but everyone just got totally silent and listened.
That's so
And then
cute.
I finished, and they were like, "Yay, great
You
job!"
did it.
I know. But it was just such a cool community feel, and we made friends with like these guys that were there. They were like their frat reunion.
Oh, my
They
God,
were basketball
hysterical.
players from Westchester College. I don't know what
my
college.
gosh.
But it was just one of these amazing Long Island experiences and Long Island weeks, and we had such a fun time, and cannot thank Fire Island, Ocean Beach, the entire community, and our board member Laura and her husband Chris.
Incredible.
Laura listens. It's so
Yeah.
funny because when we got there to the hotel, she's like, "I have your vanilla iced coffee ready
Oh
because
my
I know I
God.
listen to the tea and I know
love
you
her.
look."
Oh my God, she's so cute.
So she's a total hot tea.
She really is.
By the way, she is amazing. They own the Palms Hotel and CJ's, which is the home of the rocket fuel. Let me tell you what a rocket fuel is real quick.
Yeah.
For people that don't know. Because Laura explained it to me and I didn't know this.
Okay.
So it's like a pina colada. It's like on steroids is what I always call it. Because it's just delicious, but also super potent, which I'm
Right.
feeling today as we're
Right.
drinking wine. I'm like, oh, ouch. So what happened is Bacardi 151
Okay.
is this very strong rum.
Mm-hmm.
And they stopped making it because it was
Really?
so potent. It was
Wow.
too potent. So
didn't know that.
CJ's
That's crazy.
bought all of the remaining
Oh, my
Bacardi
God.
151
Go Laura and Chris.
on the market. And so now, then they start they're the home of the rocket fuel, which is like a pina colada with Bacardi's 151.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
And they've been open 50 years. And so you have one and it's delicious. And then you think you're fine.
Right.
Turns out
you're
not fine.
Yeah.
You're not fine.
Yeah.
But anyway, but Laura is like, she looks like a model.
She's gorgeous.
I mean, literally.
I know.
And she's owns this hotel and stuff, but she's also actually in real life a psychotherapist.
I know. Can you
She's
imagine?
brilliant.
Completely.
And you want to find something not to like about her.
Right. There's nothing.
No, because she's so
Because she's too perfect.
nice.
You're like,
She's also so nice.
Right.
So sweet.
and her husband too.
And her
Chris
husband.
is just so
They're
like
the cutest
they are
couple.
the sweetest, humblest.
I just love
They
them.
are amazing.
And they're total Long Islanders, and they care so much about Long. She works so hard. Anyway, just
Cheers to Laura and Chris.
cheers. Cheers. Okay, so speaking of cheers,
Yeah.
wine of the week.
Okay, yeah. So we are drinking Coffee Pot Cellars, the 2016 Beasley's Blend.
Did you have a rocket fuel?
No, I
Before
had
this?
Beasley's
That
Blend.
sounds like me.
Try and say that, Beasley's Blend.
Beasley's Blend.
Okay, all right, I said it.
Okay, so what is a Beasley's Blend? I don't know what this is.
So it's a Cabernet Merlot mix.
Ooh,
It is delicious. Do you like it?
I do like it. And this is a really cute label.
It's so cute.
And I think it's
just-
cute. Coffee Pot Cellars.
Yeah, it's adorable. It is a blend of Merlot and Cabernet Franc. It's aromas and flavors of candied black cherry, tobacco, and graphite. Yep.
Graphite. What, you want me to?
Graphite predominant in this version with supple, silky tannins and a juicy, long taste lasting, spicy finish.
Sharon, I never get tired
Never
of
fails.
listening to you.
Never fails.
Read the wine of the week description. It's amazing. I love it. Thank you
I
for doing
love
it.
though. It's so good.
It is good. Hold on, I gotta take a sip. And last week we teased that we have some really cool content coming up on the show.
Yes.
And we kind of do it today.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm super excited about our show today because, we also teased last week, and it's live now that we have an Amazon page.
Yes.
So it's on our website, discoverlongisland.com/tea, and you can go to see all the favorites that you and I talk about.
Yeah, I love it.
And you can just buy them there, so you don't have to search
Right,
for them, which is so
exactly.
awesome. And if you're on Amazon, you go to amazon.com/shop/discoverlongisland.
Perfect.
Or you can just go to the Tea page and link straight there, or it's in the notes.
Yeah.
Melissa puts it in the
Yeah.
notes too, so we're going to make it super easy for you.
But it's so cool. We did the Father's Day gift guide on there, which I think was so cool. We talked about the bug salt.
The bug assault. Oh my God, it was so cute. My mother-in-law sent me a text,
Yeah.
and she's like, I loved your tea today. Mary, if you're listening, she was like, I loved hearing about Thomas with his salt gun.
I love
she
it.
had no idea.
She's like, so
She's like, I hope
hysterical.
he's going to get his boulder. I'm like, he's not. I'm not getting him a boulder. I don't know.
Where do you get it? I just don't even
have
know.
the first clue.
Right. And I cannot picture you.
What? How do
Buying
you
a
even shop
boulder.
for a boulder? I don't know how big it should be, if it should be a certain angle, how to deliver it. Where it would go in the yard.
Right. What are you going to do with that boulder?
I told Mary, I'm like, no.
It's not happening.
I'm sorry, mother-in-law. There's too many questions. He's going to have to buy that for himself.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I got him something good, so don't worry.
Good.
I know.
Oh,
She's like,
I
I
can't
can't wait to
wait.
hear. But
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't. Anyway, so Amazon page is up, but the cool thing is we get our own Amazon page because we're considered influencers,
I know.
which is super cool.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, and that's kind of what the whole show today is
Yeah,
about.
I'm
is
excited.
the power of influencers.
Yeah.
And this world that we're living in now, and we were kind of talking to some of our partners, and we're like, we need influencers to help us spread the message. Like we did the live stream
Right.
with Urbanist
Right.
Ariel,
Yeah.
and that was so great. And he's since introduced us to some other guys, which I'll put in my teasers. And then we have a new flight from Long Island, Nashville,
Right.
and from Long Island Macarthur Airport,
Right.
And we're like, what's a better way
Right.
than to explain the flight than some influencers?
I think that was such a great idea.
Yeah.
Like take the trip.
Yeah.
Experience it.
And
And talk
it's
about
like in the olden days,
Yeah.
right before influencers, you would have a travel writer
Right.
come out from like a
an
magazine
article,
and write an
yeah.
article because they're trusted
Yeah.
as people.
They're
that
vetted
They have a
and-
following. People read that magazine. They have subscribers, and people trust that outlet. And today, that kind of message goes through influencers,
Right, exactly.
because they're trusted and people like their brand or what they do and or their products, kind of like the products we
Everything's
put
on
out.
social media.
Yeah.
Everything is on social media.
And so we called our friends and counterparts in Nashville at the Nashville I think it's called Visit Nashville.
Yeah.
So we called our friends in Nashville and we said, who are your best influencers? And they gave us a couple names.
Right.
And we invited them on a trip to Long Island.
And they had the best time.
And they came and they were so cute.
They were
I was
so cute.
following their stories.
Every single thing that they posted, I was like, I just want your job.
I loved it. Oh, and they did such a great job capturing Long Island. They'd never been here before from Nashville, because we're trying to tell people, of course, Long Islanders love Nashville.
Right.
And so going on the flight to Nashville, it's easy to sell Long Islanders.
Right,
like, oh, there's a new flight. You should go to Nashville.
But
In
Nashville
fact,
doesn't really know about us.
they don't know about us. And I was going to say, Laura and Chris from Fire Island, I was telling them about it, and they were like, we booked it.
Oh my
We're going to
God, so
Nashville.
awesome.
I was like, okay, cool.
Good.
I'm like, but we have to tell Nashville to come here.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's not an easy of a sell because people in Nashville don't know about Long
right.
Island.
Exactly.
So we brought these ladies out.
Hi.
Hi.
So glad to have you ladies today.
And so there's Ashley and Kellyanne.
Yes.
Okay, and let's see, which one is which? Let's see. Kellyanne is Abraidedblonde, and Ashley is Purpose and Passion.
Yes.
Yay! Well, you ladies are just as gorgeous on Zoom as you are. You know, sometimes like Bree, that does all of our Insta and our social media, she has this filter. So we look so different
We always
on
talk about
social.
it.
Yeah, people see me and are on Zoom and they're like, "That's not what you look
Right.
like." I thought.
It's
But,
fine.
but
Looked like
you
a
ladies
flat
look
mess
just
like 30 minutes ago. So
well. You look just as gorgeous on Zoom. So thank you for joining us.
thank you.
And we were just talking about the power of influencers today and how, because we just got our Amazon shop page up, which is very exciting. Because Sharon and I, we're influencers.
We're influencers.
yeah.
Right. But not really, because if you look at the way I travel, again, like on the last show, I took 2 pictures of my last trip, and one was of my shower and one was of my toilet. So I don't know how to take pictures like you ladies
You're doing great.
That's a start.
But we loved following your journey and your trip to Long Island. In fact, Nikki, you inspired Nikki on our team, and she just booked a photo shoot in the lavender fields
Oh,
Oh
so
my
cute.
God.
because of you.
That's
So cute.
amazing.
Yeah. You're inspiring Discover Long Island to
Yeah.
discover Long Island, which is
Yeah.
funny.
Hysterical.
Kelly, we're doing our
first-
job right.
I know. You should have heard me and Ashley in the lavender field. We were like, oh my gosh. Like, we couldn't stop.
Aw.
Well, this is so cute. And we were saying this is, we invited you out because there's a new nonstop flight from Long Island Macarthur Airport, which is our regional airport, which is like right in the middle of Long Island. So you don't have to go all the way to the city. It's really close to a lot of our attractions. And there's a new nonstop flight to Nashville. And we all love Nashville. So we're all going to go there easily. But getting people from Nashville to understand why they should come to Long Island and understand what Long Island has to offer is a little bit more of a lift, right? Because people don't know. Did you guys know anything about Long Island before you came here?
Well,
and
Kelly-
it's fine to say.
Kelly thought Long Island was in Florida, so there's that.
Okay.
So we've got some work to do, team.
Turns out.
Well, we're boarding the plane. I was like, is Ashley going to tell them this story? Because I was like mortified. But we were boarding the plane, and I was like, did you bring your swimsuits? And because I looked at the Instagram feed, Discover Long Island, and it's like beach, 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 beach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I haven't been out much apparently. And I was like, sorry about that. I was like, oh my gosh, did you bring your swimsuit? And she was like, why would I bring my swimsuit? It's cold. I was like, what do you mean it's cold? Like, we're going to Florida.
Aw.
We've been to Florida before. And she's like, Kelly, Long Island is in New York. And I was like, we're going to New York? Like, and I was like,
Oh my gosh, that's
So
hysterical.
about to board the plane. And I was like, oh my gosh, Discover Long Island is going to think I am such an idiot. So
Aw.
do not tell them that. But I've been to New York City and I've heard of the Hamptons. So then as we go on our journey, I'm like, oh, we're in the Hamptons? Like, what? Like,
Ooh, girl.
this
It's
is
so funny, ladies. It's so funny because I
Yeah.
moved here from Arizona 6 years ago to Long Island, New York, and I had never been here before I took this job. And I tell Long Islanders that all the time. People don't know that the Hamptons are on Long Island. They've heard of them. I'm like, and people here like they don't believe it. They're like, what? Everyone knows the Hamptons are on Long Island. I'm like, no, they don't. I'm like, they think they're somewhere like Martha's
Cape Cod,
Vineyard,
yeah.
the Cape.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And people don't know. Then that's why our job is important. I was like,
Yeah.
we're justifying our job. I'm
Right,
like, this is
exactly.
what we do.
Yeah. We couldn't believe
So
we
I
were
love-
so close. We kind of wish we had gotten like over there just to like see it, but
Right.
there was so much
Extended
cool
your
stuff
stay
in
a
Long
little bit.
Island that like when we were driving from the airport to the Menhaden, which is where we stayed in downtown Greenport, we were just like in awe of like how beautiful and like countryside vineyards, like how quaint and charming it was, because we've both been to New York. But then when you just get a couple hours outside of the city and it's like totally different.
Yeah.
Totally
yeah.
different.
Everyone thinks New York is New York City,
Right.
and that's all people know, right?
That's-
And it is the greatest city in the world, so fine.
That's what people definitely think. But we were like,
Yeah.
it's so beautiful here.
Well, you did a great job of telling our story, and we
Oh,
want to
totally.
thank you for
Yeah.
that.
It was amazing.
It was so fun.
But I want to talk to you a little bit about, because I still think, similar to Long Island, people don't know about it. I still think there's still a lot of people that don't believe in the power of influencers,
Yeah.
and they don't understand the value of it. And we still have to explain it to a lot of people all the time. Like, they're like, you can't really track it, or it's not important. I'm like, it is, and this
Right.
is like the new travel article.
Yes.
So, do you mind sharing like how you became an influencer and I just think it's an interesting story.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear.
So I grew up like with a love for fashion like my entire life. And I always like my friends were always like, where did you get that? I want to buy that. Like help me style this,
Yeah.
help me do that. And so it just kind of was like, I feel like I should start a blog and just like talk about fashion and style and like help people, like influence people like on how to style things, because people like want to buy the things that you wear, but they also don't know how to wear it. So that was like my initial,
That's us.
yeah, that was like my initial reason to want to like get into
I
this.
love that.
And like now it's like completely different than from when I started. But I feel like when I picked my blog name, Purpose and Passion, in the beginning, like now that has like manifested into something completely different. And now I love to share about like the ups and downs that you go through in life and like empowering women, also helping, like I still love fashion, obviously. So I still do a lot of that, but it's just become more intentional versus just like, I want to sell clothes to like my followers. Like that is
Right.
like the least important thing to me at this point versus when I started, because now I've seen the impact that it has had on my audience and the relationships and the community that I've built. And those people just like they're like a part of your life. I feel like my Instagram is like my family that I have.
Well, that's kind of it's similar to what Sharon and what we did at Discover Long Island during the pandemic.
Yes.
Is we kind of just went away from advertising and buying ads that promote the destination, and we decided to do storytelling. And so if you listen to the Tea, we talk about Long Island, but we also talk about our lives and our kids and stories and families, and I think that that's what resonates with people is the authenticity.
Yeah,
Yes,
totally.
it's authenticity and it's relatable, like stories that are relatable that people can grasp to. For example, I just went through a breakup with a guy. We've been together for almost 5 years, and it took me a while to share that, and I needed to take like a month off to just like be with myself and like navigate that. But then when I got out of that and I was like, okay, I'm good, I can share this with my audience, because they're wondering, where am I? Why have I not been on stories? They're messaging me. But then when I shared that, I had so many people that were like, thank you so much for sharing that. Like, you have no idea, like I've been going through this too, and you've inspired me to like, realize your worth and know that you can't ever settle for anything less than what you deserve. And so it's like things like that, those conversations are priceless.
Yeah. And not all influencers are the same.
No.
And that's important, right? And so when we wanted to know the best influencers in Nashville to reach out to tell our story and to have this experience, we called our counterparts in Nashville, at the Nashville Destination Marketing Organization, and they gave us your names because just like we would to anyone else, because there's the people that people really connect to. So they knew that you two were the ones to help tell our story, which was sweet of them to share you with us.
Yeah, and it's funny because I got the email and I reached out to Kelly and I was like, do you want to go on this trip with me? Like, we would have so much fun. And she was like, no way, they actually just emailed me too. And I was like, okay,
so
say
cool.
no more, we're going.
Yeah, because we're best friends like outside of blogging.
Yeah.
So it's like, when do you get to book a trip with your best friend that's also your job? So we were like,
Yay.
this is so, because we hang out like all the time.
Yeah.
This is just so crazy because there's quite a few Nashville bloggers, but they picked Kelly and Ashley. We're so then we called it the Kelly and Ashley show on the trip. So.
Which was
That's
so
awesome.
cute. And so Kelly, you're a mom, right? And so I love your family vibe that you have on your channel.
Yeah, so I started out as a dental assistant 5 years ago, and I loved helping people, but I needed a creative outlet so bad. And I was sitting on the couch, my husband's like, just start the blog, Kelly. Just start it. I don't think he knew at the time what it was going to entail for him. My poor husband, he is the photographer most of the time if it's not actually.
He's an Instagram husband.
Yes.
He's constantly taking, I've seen those guys and I feel for them. I do.
Yes. Every photo you see is either Ashley or Chris. So
that's fun.
God love them.
Well, they're good photographers.
They are.
Because you look gorgeous and everything.
They are. So I started doing that on the side, and I just really hustled on the side, and it actually got me a marketing job in the dental world, which was crazy because I was like, okay, well, here I am doing this side gig as a blogger. I'm a mom, and then I got promoted all the way up to be, a social media and a marketing director. And then 6 months ago, I was just like, I'm just going to take this full time. Like, I can't do this and be there for everyone. And I was miserable because I was like, I never had free time. I was just working constantly. And I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm just going to do it. Like, because we don't know what blogging is going to be like. We didn't know what it was going to be 5 years ago. We didn't know it was going to be what it is now. And we don't know what it's going to be in like 2 to 3 years. But if I lived the rest of my life and just didn't go for it, then I just knew I would have regretted it. And so I jumped off.
You got to go for it.
Yeah.
Totally. And look at now you got to go to Long Island wine country with your bestie.
I'm like,
okay, I have to say one thing, Kelly.
Yeah.
Kelly, I just love your accent, and it's so cute. Like the time of my life. It's so good. And I wanted to ask you if you felt the same thing when you came to New York. If you heard some Long Island accents, and if you were like, oh my God, that's how I felt when I came here. I was like, I loved going to the bagel shop and listening to the Long Island accents.
Yeah.
Did you hear any?
Yeah, I did hear some, but I think they noticed my accent more than I noticed theirs. And I'm like, do I really have an accent? Like,
It's so funny. It's so funny.
Oh, that's like Long Islanders. They're like, I got a comment the other day because we were talking about accents, and somebody was like, and that's a Brooklyn accent.
Yeah.
We don't have an accent
Long
like that.
Island doesn't have
but
an
I'm like,
accent.
first of all, Brooklyn is on Long Island.
And secondly,
so
everybody in Long Island is like from Brooklyn.
Come on. and you do have an accent, and that's okay.
Yeah.
The biggest shocker for me is like, why don't y'all put ice in your drinks? That is like the one thing.
Hysterical.
Like when I fill up my mason jar, honey, it is filled of ice, and it's so good. Why are y'all missing out on the ice? Like
that is
hysterical.
So funny. You know what? I remember thinking that when I went to Europe for the first time. Just you think New York doesn't put ice in their drinks? Go to Europe, girl. They don't put any.
Oh my
ice.
gosh!
I remember going to the restaurant in Europe, and I was like, when you think that you can't fit any more ice into the glass, just add another, just a little bit, one more cube.
I never even noticed that. I've never noticed
that here either, but that's
funny.
awesome.
Yeah.
What else did you learn?
They were like, do you want still or sparkling water? I was like, I want ice water. Like, where is that? Where is that category? But everyone was seriously so nice. Like,
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting New York City.
Yeah.
Which, I can still tell the story. The first time I went to New York City, scared to death, this lady would not serve me a salad, but she served it to someone behind me. Like, for whatever reason, I just didn't get the salad. But Long Island was like not like that at all. Like, everyone was so nice, and like it brought me back to Nashville, like those like southern sweet vibes.
Yeah.
That's kind of me and Ashley just kept talking about it, like Love Lane Kitchen. Like that.
Oh my God, I love
Yeah.
just the fact that there's a road in wine country called Love Lane.
Yes.
Cutest little street ever, right?
Yeah.
It was the cutest, and the sisters that run it were like so kind, and we were just like so like in love with the fact that their mom makes all of their desserts, and they brought us like samples of their chocolate cake and their cheesecake, and we were just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Isn't it funny? Because people don't realize, again, just because we're connected to New York City, right? So most people get, and it's people think that it's going to be like this hustle bustle New York City vibe. But we were just talking about another destination that you have to come back to next time called Fire Island, which is amazing. You would die. We were just there yesterday, our team.
Oh my god!
And Long Island is made up of like 119 different towns, villages, and hamlets. So they're all these little small towns where you go in and you meet the family.
Yeah.
They're all family-owned businesses.
Yes.
Small towns like Greenport, like where you went.
We talked about that like the whole time we were there. We're like, there's like nothing here that's a chain, which was amazing because I mean, you just don't like, it's just like one of a kind, So it just makes that.
What was one of your favorite restaurants that you guys went to?
Well,
I saw your stuff at the Frisky Oyster.
Yes. So the Frisky Oyster, I would say, was our favorite for
fun.
dinner, and I think we both could agree that Love Lane was our favorite for brunch.
Yeah.
So cute.
And then we drink wine every week on the pod here, and because we're sponsored by Long Island Wine Country, they sponsor us, so we drink a different Long Island wine. So you went to the vineyards. Were you surprised that Long Island had wine?
Yes, we had no idea. We were like,
That's
"What?
hysterical.
We're going to vineyards all day? That's amazing."
Everyone
Sounds
They're
amazing.
like, how are you and Ashley like still standing up by the end of the... That was like
You're like, because
biggest
we're from
question.
Nashville.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Tennessee.
We're not
Whiskey.
amateurs.
Yeah.
We know how to honk talk. This is fun. We can do this. The wineries, like, I don't know which one was my favorite.
I don't either because they were both like
So
different.
Which
but
ones did you go to?
Sparkling Point
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
and
Beautiful.
Macari.
Macari.
Macari's
Macari.
gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they all are such. Did you love the wine? I mean, it was just so incredible.
Yes, we were sitting at Sparkling Point, and we'd been there for like 30 minutes, and I looked at Kelly and I go, all the wine is sparkling. Oh
Yeah.
my God, is that why it's called?
Literally, we were on our last flight, and she was like, so you might get this question a lot, but is all your wine here sparkling? And I was like, did you?
And it's like as soon as I said it, I was like, oh.
Did you
duh.
really just ask that?
Yeah, and so there are like we always say, there's 57. Our pitch. There's 57 distinct winemakers on Long Island. But so Sparkling Point is all sparkling, and they all have their own specialties, and some specialize in just some are dog friendly, and some are kid friendly, and some are celebrity driven, and there's one called Croteau that's all rosé, and there's one called Bridge Lane which specializes the cans. They have the cutest, like super trendy looking cans.
Oh my God.
So it's awesome that they're all different.
Yes. Yeah. I think personally, I liked Sparkling Point better just because I liked the wine better.
Yeah.
Because I don't like dry wine. I like sweet wine. And so yours was more, sweet and bubbly. And so, and then of course the vineyard was beautiful too. And like,
it's gorgeous.
And the setting.
So was it cold? Did you think it was cold, Kelly?
A
A little bit? You can be honest. You can be honest.
Freezing.
Oh my
the
gosh.
second night we were there.
Hysterical.
We went to Claudia's waterfront, and
Claudia's.
Okay.
yeah, it was so good. But we had to tell the manager, we're like, hey, we're freezing. We're like,
No.
Yeah, we sat down and then they closed like the wall. Like they put the wall down to like keep the wind from blowing because it was so windy. And then we were like still sitting there and the roof was still open. And then we were just like shivering.
we were like,
I was like, can we move again? And so like we were literally like playing musical tables because we'd go sit at a table and we'd be like, is this one warm enough? And then we'd go to another table and we're like, nope, this one's it.
Yeah.
we were
So that's so
pretty much.
Yeah, that's so funny because I remember feeling again coming from Arizona, which is hot, especially this week. I was looking at the weather. I'm like, no. But I remember like we wear hoodies here all the time, right? So if you're a Long Islander that even if it's warm during the day, as soon as that sun goes down, you have that ocean breeze and it's chilly and it's cool and everybody brings hoodies and all summer. And I actually love that. But it's not like it's not fancy, right? Everyone just grabs their hoodie and everyone's super chill.
Yes.
It's that I love that East Coast.
Yes.
Like no
so-
makeup,
Right.
Kelly was
beach
so
hair,
confused.
don't care.
Because she was like, Catherine told us, she was like, just bring a sweater or jacket for like in the evening. And Kelly was like, have they never been to Florida? It is not cold in the evening.
Because she still thought she was going to Florida.
She's like,
This is like the Zoom call
like a
before we
jacket.
left. This is the Zoom call before we left. She was like, make sure you bring a sweater. And I did. I'm so glad I brought some.
Yeah, we both did.
Aww.
Yeah, I brought a jean jacket. But yeah, I thought it was going to be a little fancier, but I love the casual, like culinary.
Laid back.
Very
Yeah.
laid back.
Yes.
But still very nice at the same time. And I love how it's like country and the beach. So I've never been somewhere with like, I felt like I was in a little country town, but then I also was at the beach. So that was a really neat experience because
Yeah.
I've never.
We just did our How to Hamptons episode a couple weeks ago, and we had a very similar conversation. So it was 90 degrees in the middle of Long
Right.
Island, and when Sharon was out in Amagansett, which is, the Hamptons is, people don't realize the Hamptons you guys are on the North Fork, the Hamptons are on the South Fork, and it's made up of all these different villages and towns and hamlets, and she's like, it was 66 degrees.
Yeah,
it was cold,
it was
right?
freezing.
But it's so in the middle of Long Island. If you go to Jones Beach or whatever, it's going to be hot sometimes.
Right.
So, but that's what I think that's the misnomer about, even the Hamptons, that people think, oh, it's going to be glitz and glam because all the celebrities are there. But it's not. It's really just a little
Small
village,
town.
and it's
Yeah.
very cute and it's very quaint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's the appeal.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went to 67 Step Beach.
Okay.
Awesome.
Mhm. Yep.
Yes.
Which is 67 steps down to
Yes,
the beach.
So pretty. So pretty. Yeah. We trucked all the stairs all the way down. Yeah, it was beautiful though.
We drove
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
little
Good.
electrical moke from
Yeah.
in Hayden. It was really cute.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah,
so
I saw that.
interesting.
That's
That's
a
so
cute
funny.
little. I've seen that. I've seen that. I didn't know that they lend that out to the guests.
Well, I get so the
Yeah.
hotel, the girl that worked at the hotel, she drove us down there. So she
Awesome.
was like, "I'll drive you guys down there in the
Oh,
boat."
cute.
But
But they
it
do.
was,
I think it's complimentary for the guests. too.
yeah.
That's awesome. Did you love that hotel? Wasn't
Oh
it
my
so
gosh,
cute?
it is to die for. Like such an aesthetic.
Aw.
I'm
Yeah.
like such a black and white, like boho, modern boho, like aesthetic. And I was like, oh my, as soon as we walked in the door, I was like, I'm never leaving.
It's
I'm here to
so
stay.
gorgeous, and it's right on the water. It's right next to the carousel.
Yes.
It's right in the
Beautiful.
heart of downtown.
Yes.
I love. It's a little boutique.
Yep. 16 rooms. We were like, it was just so quaint and charming. And like the rooftop was amazing. It had amazing views. And then it was just
You just get
so
to watch the
nice.
boats.
Yes. It was just so nice that we could walk out the front door and like just walk to dinner. And like we didn't have to like plan for like driving and like all that
Transportation,
stuff. It was just so
yeah.
convenient.
And right behind you, you probably saw the car ferry going back and forth. The car
Yes.
ferry takes you to Shelter Island, and you drive through, and that takes you to the South Fork if you want, and vice versa. It comes back and forth. So I love hearing your. When I was watching your stories, I'm like, ladies, we have to get these ladies on the pod to hear your.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear from you because
Yes.
you did. It was so beautiful and wonderful. But I think. Have you told your friends and family back in Nashville about it, and are they surprised?
Oh yeah.
This new
Like I don't think I've
destination.
stopped talking about it since I got back.
Aw,
I know.
That's awesome.
And what's funny is like we were like, there's like certain deliverables between us and the brand, and it's like I just keep posting. Like
I know. I saw that. I was like, are we
It's
paying?
fine.
Yeah.
like, I just can't stop posting about it. And
Yep.
and I had some friends like, hey, I was thinking about going here, but now I'm going to Long Island because of watching your
Oh,
show.
that's awesome.
Yeah, some of my followers, like, I'm thinking about taking a bachelorette trip. And I told my mom and dad, I was like, this would be perfect for y'all because they don't love, like, the humid heat,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and they love, really nice restaurants and cute little restaurants like that, bed and breakfast kind of feel. I would love to take Chris. Like, it would be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the cool juxtaposition of it is that and you went to one area, right, which is the North Fork, and the cool thing about Long Island is it's long, right?
Yeah.
It's from all the way to New York City, it's 120 miles. So all the different villages, like the nautical mile is completely different than this. And the
Greenport,
South
yeah.
Shore, like you were on the North Shore, so it's kind of rocky
Yeah.
beaches because you've got Connecticut on the other side, which is the Sound. But if you're on the South Shore, it's all sandy, amazing, pristine beaches. So there's still so much to explore here, and I
Yeah.
think that it's that mixture of it is expensive. It can be expensive. It's high end. It's a very desirable place, but it's so casual
Yeah.
and it's so comfortable.
I know. I
And
would
there's,
love to come
And it's
back.
an easy flight.
Yes, I would love to come back and like experience the other side of it because like I was telling Kelly and I always, like when we travel, like my engagement is always like, people are so engaged when we travel because people are so intrigued by like new places and like,
Where
oh
you
my
going?
gosh, I want to go there. So both of our DMs like were blowing up the whole time we were there, of people like asking us questions about like where we are, what we're doing. And it was just awesome. And even like now, like a week later, I'm still getting messages of like, how was your trip? Oh my gosh, it looked so fun. And so I'm like trying to finish up my blog post, but I'm like OCD and
Answering
like, I want to get
questions.
like every detail in there. So I'm probably going to publish it on Sunday, but I'm just like so excited to share like pictures and like all the things. Because
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, we just so appreciate both of you coming and the incredible job that you did showcasing, you know, Long Island and our destination. I thought you did an amazing job. We were all following you.
Yeah.
So
Every
can you,
step.
and we'll
Love
put it in
it.
the notes of the pod because we have our hot teas that are our fan base that follow us, and so you are too now. You're officially hot teas, just so you know.
Yay!
Cheers, ladies.
And we'll put your contact information in the notes. But can you tell people your contact info and how people can follow you?
Sure. Yeah. So mine is on Instagram. You can follow me at Purpose and Passion blog. And then Kelly, you can go ahead.
And so you can find me on Instagram at Abraidedblonde. And then I also have a TikTok, Abraidedblonde, that does travel reviews. So a lot of Nashville reviews. If you guys ever come to Nashville. And then
Oh, we're coming.
We're coming. That's it.
You're
We're coming.
You have to let us know.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
absolutely.
we will. We'll totally call you when we're coming to Nashville. We're all coming. Everyone from Long Island's coming.
Yes.
And with the new flight from Long Island Macarthur Airport on Southwest, it's direct. It's easy, right? It was like
Yes.
two and a half
So
hours.
easy.
2.5
Yeah, like 2
hours.
hours. It was like
Yeah.
nothing.
Amazing. Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
And also, if you or your family that you're talking about want to come back, please let us know. We'll make sure we give them all the information they need, discoverlongisland.com, and we'll help them. And we'd love to have you back to see another area and let you compare. And I think you'd be blown away by the difference
Yeah.
of all the different places. Like when we take you to a South Shore beach area that's closer to the city, you'll be like, this is the same place?
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yes.
We're hooked. So
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Kelly and Ashley
Good.
show part 2.
Yeah.
Yes. The Kelly and Ashley show.
Kelly
I
and
love it.
Ashley
We're
take
like the Kristen and
top
Sharon
floor.
show.
Yeah.
The fans
Kelly
want
and
it.
Ashley.
They want it. They want
Yeah.
Kelly and Ashley back at Long Island.
Yeah.
There
Yes.
it is,
And when you
girls.
come back, Kristen and Sharon will join you.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so fun.
That'd be so fun.
All right. Ladies, it was so wonderful meeting you in person. Thank you so much for everything you did
Yes,
for us.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you,
we'll stay in
girls.
It was
touch.
great to meet you guys, and thank you for having
All
us. It was amazing.
Oh, good.
Bye.
Bye.
Everybody will follow you.
Bye.
Bye, ladies. Okay, I love them.
That was so cute.
I loved them. Obviously, we looked at them before we had them come out,
Right,
and
exactly.
really kind of went through their channels, and they were both so perfect and on brand and adorable.
They're adorable.
And then they came out, and I just loved following their
I know.
experience.
They had the best time. And even just like she was saying, like walking out of your hotel room and going to a restaurant and not having to worry about
I
transportation.
mean, can
or
we just talk about people are like, oh, everybody knows about.
I know.
And I'm like, they didn't even know. They thought Long Island was in Florida.
right? These girls.
The girl thought she was going to Florida
Before
the
she
whole
even
time.
boarded the plane.
I was like, even
She's
when
so
she
cute. She's like,
accepted
"Don't
to
tell
come.
That was so
And they
cute.
had no idea that the Hamptons were on Long Island,
Right.
and they had no idea that Long Island had vineyards.
Right.
And so that's why we do what we do.
Yeah.
And that's why we drink wine. Look, it's tough.
It's tough.
You know, it's not easy.
It's a struggle. But we get through it.
But we
No
do.
probs.
We do. And so I just love them. And so now we're going to talk a little bit about like hashtag Long Island. Or should we do the tea?
I think it's tea time.
It's tea time. Oh, okay.
Oh,
you know
sorry.
what time it is?
It's
tea time.
I look at Kenzie.
I know. So my daughter Kenzie is here today. She's dead.
She's dead.
She's like, because I'm taking her to her TSA appointment immediately following. So she's going to go do an interview so she can get TSA pre-check
Amazing.
because it's travel season.
Right.
And she's going to be 17 next month.
Oh, girl.
Driving. So scary.
I know.
Okay. So anyway, she's here and she's like super eye rolling
I know.
every
I
time.
love her,
Not at you,
though.
at me.
I love her.
Anyway, so what's your tea?
It's actually a reheat.
Oh.
From a few weeks back. I binged Dirty John.
Did you love it?
I loved it.
Both
First-
seasons or the first season?
The first season.
Oh, with Connie Britton. Did you want
Yeah.
to shake her?
The whole time. I was like the entire time. I totally see what you're talking about because I'm like, why? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop.
And her kids.
But I loved it. I loved it. It was so good. I can't wait
Oh
to
my
I can't
God.
wait for season 2. Did you
finished,
watch it?
I finished season 2. It starts a little bit slower than the first season,
first
I think.
one? Okay.
But it was great. I loved it. And it just takes you first of all, Amanda Peet, like, respect.
Really?
She does
Oh my
a
God.
great
Okay.
job portraying. I feel like it's such a complex character.
Okay.
And you're kind of like, no, you feel you go back and forth like feeling for her.
Right.
And then you're like, no, she is actually crazy though.
Wow. Okay.
That you feel for her, but you're like also, ooh, crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, it's awesome. I'm so glad.
First of all, that, and then secondly, did you watch Handmaid's Tale season finale?
Okay, Sharon, I told Thomas, I'm like,
Sharon's gonna bring it up on the pod.
I'm like, Sharon told me about the close-ups.
You can't watch it, right?
And I can't unsee it.
I know, it's so hard.
Ever
It is
since
so
you told me,
hard.
it is so annoying.
I know. I feel you. I know.
Well, you called it.
I'm like, why? And then the facial expressions. I'm like,
Although I
stop.
loved the ending, but but then she's like 5 minutes. So she's going to be held accountable for that?
I guess. I don't understand. I didn't understand that whole scene.
So here's a question. Is that the end?
I don't think so. Obviously, it's got to be another season.
That's what I said. Thomas was like, that was the end. There's no more Handmaid's Tale. I'm like, what?
Well,
that can't be the end.
Yeah. I don't know.
It can't be.
Because where does she go?
I don't know. What? I have questions.
I have so many questions.
And the extreme close-ups, the dramatic facial expressions.
I know. On all of them now. Like the last finale, the season finale
it
was like
constant.
And every character. So it wasn't even just June. It was like Serena and Joel. Fred.
Every character. I was just anyway, but I thought it was cool because you're again, you go through a range of emotions on that too.
Totally.
I love that Handmaid's Tale.
Me too.
Alyssa, can you hand me this thing behind you? I forgot to grab my tea product. That little tube. Okay, so that's good. That's a good reheat. And I'm so glad you like Dirty John.
I loved it.
Okay, so I have a couple things for tea. One, I do have a product because it's summer. Mm-hmm. And so I think that people should know that you can't wear the same foundation.
Right, 100%.
I wish I could go like my teenage girls and a lot of our friends, they go without makeup in the summer.
I don't know how.
I
need something.
I don't have the guts for that.
Me either.
I can't do it. Like Brie, she can show up like full. No, she's like, no. Is that makeup?
It just looks natural.
Well, she's like, it takes a lot of makeup to look this natural.
Right. Yeah. So funny. So funny.
So I switched to a tinted moisturizer, like you did.
That's what I do. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's really, really, really important to say, I searched high and low. It was hard to find one that had an SPF.
Okay.
And I think I searched on Sephora. I was searching all over because I think if you're not wearing an SPF foundation, you are just doing you're doing so much damage to your skin. Does yours have SPF?
Yeah, 15.
What is it? 15. Okay, cool. I think you have to do it.
Yeah.
Especially on Long Island.
Yeah.
Because you don't realize, like, it feels, like they said, it feels breezy and cool.
Yeah. And then
the
boom.
rays.
Yeah.
Like,
the UV index or whatever.
Oh my God. Next thing you know, you look like that old lady.
Something About Mary.
Yes! I was just going to say that. Anywho, so my product is Halo, and it's by Smashbox.
Oh.
And it's a tinted moisturizer, and it's actually SPF 25.
Okay. That's good. 25.
Yeah, it is good. And hold on, because it's got a built-in primer as well, which is cool. So it says it's SPF 25 for environmental protection, hydrates instantly and over time, promotes healthy skin, and it's infused with the primer, so it lasts all day. It primes, moisturizes, perfects, and protects all in one step.
Ooh.
And it's really light.
Okay.
So we'll put it on the Amazon.
Oh, Amazon.
And our Amazon page, so you can get it. Halo by Smashbox. Because I started using a primer the other day that I got like as a sample. It's a game changer.
Is it?
And then this has it built in, which is awesome.
That is awesome.
And then the other thing, which I don't know if this is, I guess we could, so I saw this article. I told Alyssa, I'm like, you've got to talk about this as we're talking about makeup.
Yeah.
In Newsday, I'm going to hold it up for the camera. Toxic chemicals in makeup. Okay, Brie, listen to this. Okay, we're poisoning each other. This is crazy. It's a new study by Notre Dame, and researchers at the University of Notre Dame tested more than 230 commonly used cosmetics and found that 56% of foundations and eye products 48% of lip products, and 47% of mascaras contain high levels of fluorine, an indicator of PFAS, so-called forever chemicals that are used in like nonstick frying pans, and they're cancer causing.
And it's like formaldehyde too, right?
Yeah,
It's
they
crazy.
say they lead to serious health conditions, including cancer and reduced birth weight.
What?
And then get this. This is what you should
In your
never wear.
makeup?
This is what you should never wear. Some of the highest PFAS levels were found in waterproof mascara. 82% of waterproof mascara has this in it.
That's crazy.
And 62% of long-lasting lipstick.
Which you use all the time.
I know, because of the masks. I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
and the weird stuff is, and so Congress is working on this with the FDA
Okay.
to try and be able to identify this, because it doesn't say.
Right.
You
Doesn't
can
tell
look at
you.
the label, and there's a couple of quotes in here from Congresswomen who are like, I look now because
now
of this
you know,
article,
yeah.
and you can't tell.
Wow.
So they're working with the FDA to try and to identify it,
That's
A, limit
crazy.
it, and B, at least allow you to identify it in the ingredients so that you know if you're poisoning yourself or not.
Right. Oh my God.
What the hell? What women go through?
Seriously.
Okay, so the other thing I want to talk about before we go into teasers is the fact that Juneteenth just became a federal holiday.
I know. I was like, wow. That's
Which
so
is,
amazing. We
you
talked
know,
about it last episode. It's
yeah.
a national holiday for a while. It has become a federal holiday.
Yeah, it's a federal holiday, which is, that's like we would normally have this off. We wouldn't be here.
Right, we wouldn't be here.
We won't be
Yeah.
here next year.
Next year.
Cheers to that. We'll have the day off, which is, but it's it's important day. And if you know the history, because we were talking to Chris about it, because he was like, well, Juneteenth, tell me. And people don't know because,
Some people
like I said,
don't
we
know.
don't celebrate it.
Exactly.
But Juneteenth is the emancipation of slavery when it finally reached Texas, because 2 years after they signed the release of slavery, the news hadn't reached Texas yet.
It's amazing.
It's crazy. So 2 years later, they were like, finally,
Right.
They were like, what? Okay, thank you.
Thanks for
telling
letting us know.
Yeah, hello. So what a cool thing that we get to celebrate it now, and that the president just signed it into a holiday. But I wanted to take this moment of Juneteenth to celebrate a member of our community who has made just incredible strides. What is Miss Pearse? I always call her Miss Pearse, but I don't want to mispronounce her name. Joysetta Pearse, who is incredible, and they just renamed the African American Museum
In Nassau County?
after her. Yes, after her and her husband. It's now called the Joysetta and Julius Pearse African American Museum in Nassau County, and we did a whole LITV episode about it during Black History Month. And I'm telling you, she is so amazing. And Chris, I don't even know if you know this, she just passed away. Yeah, Miss Pearse passed away. It was in the paper. And I thought it was just a thing about them renaming the museum about her. And I'm like, I heard this article. And then I'm like, oh my God, she passed away last week.
I can't believe it. She was
82 years
incredible.
old of cancer. And she just told the most incredible stories. And she told stories about people that you wouldn't otherwise know.
Right. Talk about a wealth of knowledge.
I remember,
She was incredible.
and so passionate and so kind, and just loved that museum so much. And I'm so glad that she was able to be here to have it renamed after her and her husband for all of the work they put into it.
So amazing.
And I just have to give her so much props for what she's done in our community to advance just the understanding and the history and the knowledge of African American contributions to Long Island, not even on Long Island, society. And I was stunned when I saw that, because I just loved her. I remember she was talking, and I was like, are you recording? I was like, so much knowledge was in her brain and history.
And you're such a history buff. So
I loved
just
it.
to soak that up while you were there with her and got to spend the day with her.
Yeah.
I think that's just so
Oh my God.
incredible.
I feel so honored and privileged. I'm so, so glad we did that Long Island TV.
Oh my gosh. And she was there. and
Yeah.
it was-
So you can go watch her on Discover Long Island NY on YouTube. Joysetta Pearse, and it's the African American Museum we did it during Black History Month.
Right.
And you'll just see her, and you will, I promise, fall in love with her
Oh,
like we
100%,
did. And
100%.
I just wanted to just give her a big shout out. And my heart breaks for that. But I'm just so grateful for everything that she did. And I'm glad she got to see, that Juneteenth is a holiday,
Yeah.
and the museum is named after her, and I think that's a great thing for our country.
Absolutely.
I'm really excited
Amazing.
about it. Any teasers, Sharon?
So we have our summer giveaway, locally bred summer box coming up.
You guys know Locally Bred. They were our first guests.
Oh my God. Are you so excited for this?
I love Locally Bred. They have a subscription box, and it's
so-
local, LIBRED.
Yeah. It's going to be amazing. I'm excited for it. We have the next week, our episode is the fireworks and 4th of July.
Yeah, 4th
We're
of
talking
July
about
is
4th
next
of
week.
July.
And also next week, we're going to play a game.
I know, exciting.
How well do you know Long Island?
Which we've done with like, not how well have you known Long Island, but like with Nikki and Bree and Catherine when they were on, we asked them their favorites.
Oh, their favorite things.
So Kristen and I are going to do like a fun.
I'm gonna.
How well? Do
It's
you
going to
know
be
Long
interesting
Island?
to see how well we actually know. It's going to like quizzes. It's going to
I'm
quiz.
excited.
I'm scared.
I know I'll tell you what. You know more than you think.
I'm scared. But just to go back to the Locally Bred giveaway, it'll be on our Tea page, discoverlongisland.com/tea, how you can actually enter to win.
Okay.
One of their
Okay.
boxes. And then we're going to have the podcast collateral going out in all the
know, I'm so
boxes.
excited.
Yeah. And then one other thing, just for a teaser, is that speaking of influencers, we continue to collaborate with influencers. And there's a new one that we're they're going to start wearing our merch. They're launching a new show. So right now you can follow them on TikTok at Here in NYC. And it's John and Joey Freya, they're brothers.
Okay.
And they're launching a new Long Island show.
So cute.
Yeah.
On TikTok.
They're launching it on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
So you can also follow them. I think it's called John and Joey Freya, FRIA on Insta. But we'll be, once they start wearing our merch, we'll be
Right.
blowing them all up
probably be a
over on
guest.
all of our stuff.
Yeah, we'll have
Yeah, there'll be a guest and it'll be a whole thing. But we've got some cool stuff coming. So tune in next week for everything 4th of July and to hear how well Sharon and I know Long Island.
Whoop, whoop.
And until then, we'll keep drinking Long Island wine.
Cheers.
Oh, real quick, Long Island Wine Country, thank you for sponsoring us. Again, 57 distinct vineyards, incredible vineyards. And at liwines.com, I just was on there today.
Yeah.
Tons of really cool events coming up.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
A lot of that. So make sure you go to liwines.com and go to the tea and get your wine of the week deal.
Yeah. We
All
still
right.
have the McCall deal.
Yeah, but we're changing it up, I think, this week. So always go to discoverlongisland.com/tea. Always check that wine of the week deal because it's going to change.
Yeah. Awesome.
So, all right, cheers. See you next week.